We've received a press briefing from the United Nations Human Rights Office of the High Commissioner. And according to this briefing, they are saying that alarming reports indicate that there has been substantial deployment of heavy weapons and troops by the Myanmar military. This has been happening over the past few weeks, and it's been happening in townships in Chin State, in Kani and Moniwa townships, also the Gangao townships in Magway. So there are a whole host of atrocities that are being perpetrated on these poor, defenseless Rohingya people. To talk to us about this issue is co-founder of the Free Rohingya Coalition, and that is you, Nay Sin Lwin, based in Germany. A very good morning to you. Thank you for coming on the show and talking to us about this issue. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah. Sorry?
Good morning, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so much for having me here today.
My pleasure indeed. So how outraged are you about this press briefing by the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner? And what do you think needs to happen to stop these atrocities? Because we also understand that 2 high-level commanders have been deployed to different areas and the internet has been shut down in these areas.
Well, Myanmar, the majority of the people in Myanmar have been under military operations since past February. I'm sorry, my voice is echoing there.
Is your voice echoing? I can hear you very clearly. I think the echo is probably only on your side.
All right, okay, let me continue. So, in Myanmar, since the people feel that international community, including the United Nations, is failing again and again on this military dictatorship in Myanmar, they thought that the armed revolution only the solution to break down this military dictatorship in Myanmar and to bring back the democracy. So there are in many places the youth hold the arm and resisting the military. The military, this deployment is not only just in the Chin State and the Sagaing region, but also across the country. But since the people in Chin State and the Sagaing region, which is the Sagaing region and the Chin State is close to each other. So since the youth are resisting there, they have been, they're fighting against the military. So the military is deploying more heavy weapon also there. Sometimes they use the helicopter, sometimes they use the fighter jet. Of course, internet is black off everywhere. Wherever, they are cracking down the civilian, they shut down the internet so the people can send all the information to the media or to the social media immediately. So we got the news like after 2-3 days, one day they can access the internet in the different places. So this is just the happening in the the Chin State and the Sagaing region, but in other regions also there are the fighting between the defense forces created by the youth, mostly youth, and also there is another group called the People's Defense Force, which was created by the parallel government, national unity government. They are also fighting. So basically in Myanmar, all the people believe that armed revolution is only solution. So the fighting are ongoing everywhere.
Okay, there have been reports of mass arrests as well as torture and Sadly, summary executions, which the military refers to as clearance operations, this has involved the use of artillery barrages and airstrikes against the villages. What more can be done to prevent this wholesale slaughter of the people? We also understand that the military raid villages and burn down the houses.
Well, the same thing has done against the Rohingya people in 2017 and also in 2015. So the Rohingya people have been suffering for more than 4 decades, but the world didn't learn from this or their failure. Still, the United Nations as the world, the largest organization, and they have also a lot of charter, they have also the responsibility to protect, but they are not involving. The problem at the United Nations is, the permanent five member and their vetoes. These are preventing to protect the civilian, not only just in Myanmar but across the world. If they have their own interest, they will protect, but if they have no interest, they are not protecting. So still, since the past February, at least 1,200 people have been killed, including the as young as 9 years old, 7 years old, and many have been more than 8,000 have been illegally arrested, and thousands of arrest warrants have been issued. Many people had to flee from the country to escape from the brutal killing, torture, and arrest, and they are stuck in the border area. So really, injustice have been happening for more than almost more than 9 months now, but there is no action from the international community. Just sanctions, whatever they impose, these are not really effective. So the most important thing they have to do is to protect and protect the civilian in Myanmar, but nobody is doing. The international community is they're failing again and again.
What do you believe needs to happen, Nay Sin? Do you believe maybe foreign troops, peacekeeping troops need to come in? Because clearly the military is not interested in stopping the carnage and the destruction upon the Rohingya people.
Well, now whatever happening is not in the Rohingya area. Just for your information, of course, Rohingya are under threat. We don't know, when another round of violence will be launched against the Rohingya people, because most of the Rohingya are in Bangladesh, but still there are about 600,000 remaining inside the country. So we have the threat from two armed groups. One is the Arakan Army, which is led by the Rakhine Buddhists, and also the Myanmar military. So we are sandwiched between these two groups. So we have also threat, but but there are the various type of persecution is going on still. The military is pressuring the people to hold the national verification card, which is designed for the foreigner. A lot of things are happening also there, but still, there is no fighting at all. But the in other states and the region, there are fighting are going on. So basically, the UN has the responsibility to protect, but they are not involving this. So as the UN is failure, the Western countries, they can form a coalition, like that they have done this in the Afghanistan, Iraq, and many other places. But they should do the same thing in Myanmar. So in Myanmar, there are about 54 billion people. All the people are suffering. This is not just suffering of the dozen of people. Million of people are suffering. So the Western country, they should deeply think how to protect this the helpless people in Myanmar.
Nay Sin Lwin, that's where we will leave it. Thank you indeed for your time this morning talking about the situation in Myanmar. The time is exactly
Yeah, thank you.
9:36.